Everybody is ablaze right now. Everybody's wondering, what is really going on with Angel Reese? Has she just flat out quit again? Has she quit on the Chicago Sky? Angel, you got to be, hold on, you have to have some level of self-awareness here.
Angel Reese is day-to-day again. But if you followed her career, you know that label doesn't always tell the whole story. Last season, it was a season-ending wrist injury. Now it's a vague back issue. And the numbers don't lie. The Chicago Sky have actually been winning more without her. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, sidelined with a real groin injury, is still shattering records and showing up for a team as a claw for a playoff spot. So, is Reese truly hurt, or is this the most predictable vanishing act in WNBA history? And how did she get exposed after being caught quitting on the Sky? If you believe this is just another Reese PR stunt, drop Fire the Baby Giraffe in the comments. Let's go.
I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury basically since the All-Star break. And there's no details. Every day we hear that Angel Reese is day to day. And every week there's no update on what she's struggling with, what she's doing. There's nothing. There's no information about Angel Reese. I think she's quit on this season. I think this is a worse version than Kawhi Leonard.
Angel Reese is day-to-day again. And at this point, fans can practically predict the play-by-play. The same vague injury updates, the same sudden vanishing, and the same suspicious timing. Always when things aren't looking great for Chicago. It's a rerun we've seen before. Last season, it was her wrist, billed as a serious fracture that needed surgery to supposedly prevent arthritis before she even hit her mid-20s. Then, just like that, her season was over. No gradual return. No late push to finish strong. Just gone.
Hey, look, bro, you got to remember, she quit in Unrivaled. She just stopped playing in Unrivaled. Said she was hurt, didn't show up for the championship game, didn't even show up and watch. Last season, she claimed her wrist was messed up, didn't finish playing in none of the games. Now, this year, she's saying this season, it's her back. It looked like she's not finishing playing in none of the games. The Sky needs you. The Chicago Sky, you guys are the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. They need Angel Reese to play in games. Angel, where you at? Where you at, Angel? This is nuts.
Now the sequel's arrived. This time, it's a mysterious back injury. No clear timetable. No real explanation. Just that it appeared right in the middle of yet another rough patch for the Sky. You can practically trace it on the schedule. The losses start stacking. The pressure builds for her to step up, and then suddenly, she's not in uniform. Not even on the bench. At this point, it's almost clockwork when her day-to-day status quietly shifts into an open-ended disappearance.
Angel Reese! She might have tapped out, y'all. Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating. What is this back injury? What's going on? Hey, are you trying to pretend like you hurt because Caitlin Clark really is hurt? Wait. What's going on? What's going on?
The strangest part? She didn't even make the trip to Indianapolis for a showdown with the Fever, one of the WNBA's marquee rivalries and biggest ticket draws. This is the league's self-proclaimed it girl, skipping the hottest matchup of the season. Yet just weeks earlier, she was in Indiana for the All-Star game, smiling for cameras and pulling a marketing stunt about taking over Caitlin Clark's trap. So apparently, the back holds up fine when it's about grabbing attention, just not when it means actually facing Clark on the court. And that's a pattern more and more people are starting to clock.
She's using her back as an excuse to sit out because she doesn't really care about basketball. I think she looks over at Caitlin Clark and says, hey, Caitlin Clark is out with a legitimate injury. I proved my point before the All-Star game when I went on a 10-game run trying to justify being on the All-Star team. When that first ballot came out, when the first voting results came out about the All-Star game and I was 13th, holy cow, Angel Reese panicked, started playing hard, tried to put up some stats to justify being on the All-Star team, did that. And now she said, hey, the Chicago Sky sucked this year. Peace out.
And of course, the speculation is inevitable. Is she dodging another high-profile hit to her brand? Protecting her stats by skipping games where she'd be exposed? The talk isn't flattering. Analysts are already suggesting she's shutting it down for the season, and some aren't bothering with subtlety. They are flat out saying it. She's quit.
She knew, she identified once they lost Vandersloot, their point guard, early in the year, and once they started getting their brains beat in, hey, we're not going to win anything this year. I'm not putting these L's on my resume. I'm going to have an excuse for the Chicago Sky potentially coming in with the worst or second worst record in the WNBA. These losses will not be on my resume.
2 seasons, 2 untimely injuries, each hitting right when the criticism around her game is loudest. Both conveniently erase any chance to prove she can grind through a losing stretch and still deliver. Line up those timelines, and it stops looking like bad luck and starts feeling like calculated timing. And the toughest part to defend? The second she's out, the team suddenly plays like a real, cohesive unit. That's when this story shifts from suspicious to downright unbelievable.
Last year with the Chicago Sky, you quit. You quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realized you never stood a chance, to be honest, with Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year. But once you realized your double streak was over, and it was over. She took over post-Olympic break. Once you realized it was done, you threw in the towel, said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year. You threw in the towel and said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year and didn't play again. This past the inaugural season of Unrivaled, you didn't even finish that season. You didn't even show up for the championship. No, not only did you not play, you didn't even show up to the game at all. People noticing a pattern with you. That's 2 seasons in a row.
The Sky's win-loss record paints a very different picture from the one used to market Angel Reese. For a player promoted as a face of the franchise, the numbers tell an uncomfortable truth. They've actually performed better without her. And this isn't some fluke over a handful of games. The stretches she's missed are the same ones where Chicago manages to stack wins and dodge the sloppy losses that keep them buried in the standings. For a supposed cornerstone, that's a brutal reality.
Let's get it! Burn! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump, not great! Burn!
Me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow.
Yeah! Again! Do it for me. Me bound! Burn!
Just look at what happened when Chicago met Indiana without Caitlin Clark. Most expected the Fever to be shaky without their star, but Lexi Hull stepped up, poured in 17 points, posted a plus 22, and led Indiana to another convincing win. That's the same Sky team that hasn't cracked the code against Indiana all year. Even without Clark, Hull, Boston, Mitchell, and Cunningham play in sync, trusting the flow instead of forcing bad shots to protect a personal brand. And it shows on the scoreboard.
I think it just says a lot about who we have as human beings. That was one of the things that we made a priority in the offseason of, who we bring into this organization. Number one, quality human beings, selfless human beings that want to pull for one another, that understand. We have this depth for a reason, and sometimes it creates challenges getting people on the floor. But in situations like this is why you have it. And I'm just, she's right. I mean, as a pro and as a pro coach, this is one of the most connected groups I've seen.
That blend of young stars and seasoned vets in Indiana isn't luck. It's a deliberate strategy. Caitlin Clark isn't just breaking records. She's running an offense that maximizes every teammate's strengths, keeping the pace quick, the ball movement sharp, and the results consistent. While teams like Chicago scramble through chaos and mysterious absences, the Fever are steadily building a core that gets more dangerous by the week. And here's the irony. Angel Reese's constant day-to-day drama might actually be boosting Clark's spotlight. Every time Reese fades out of the picture, Clark's commitment, leadership, and production stand out even more. Fans know who's really showing up when it matters. If you care about the future of the league, the Fever are the team to follow. They got the talent, the plan, and a leader who refuses to disappear when the going gets tough. Indiana's out here making statements, while Chicago's stuck making excuses. The choice couldn't be clearer. If you think this is just another Reese PR stunt, drop Fire the Baby Giraffe in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a beat.